Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. When was the last time you stood still, stopped chasing, and simply let your presence speak for itself? Sometimes, the most powerful move you can make is no move at all. When you stop chasing, you send a message, loud and clear, not in words, but in action. You're saying, I am enough. I am whole, with or without you. And that, my friends, is a message no one can ignore. You see, when you step back, something remarkable happens. You create a void, and that void forces a man to think. Men thrive on the thrill of pursuit. It's hardwired into them. But when you're no longer running after them, they start to wonder why. What's different? What changed? And more importantly, they begin to recognize your worth. Confidence is a quiet fire. It doesn't shout. It simply burns. When you stop chasing, you show that your love, your time, your energy, they're not on sale. They're not cheap, and they're certainly not free. They burn as fast as your light burns, and they're certainly not free. Here's the truth. A man's mind is like a pendulum. When you're chasing, he's leaning away. But when you stop, that pendulum swings back. He begins to see what's been in front of him all along. Ladies, let me tell you this. Stopping the chase is not about games. It's about balance. It's about recognizing that love, attention, and effort should flow in both directions. You are not a supporting role in someone else's story. You are the lead in your own. Moving on, it's time for something new. Ladies, friends, clients, mistresses, you are not a supporting role in someone else's story. You are the lead in your own. So stop running. Stand tall. Let them see the incredible person you are without the noise of pursuit. Because when you stop chasing, you don't lose, you win. You win respect, you win clarity, and most importantly, you win yourself. Thank you. Absence, as simple as it may seem, is one of the most profound tools in human connection. It is often overlooked in a world that values constant communication, persistent efforts, and an endless cycle of giving and receiving attention. Yet in relationships, romantic, platonic, or professional, the space created by absence can often speak louder than words. It challenges perceptions, creates intrigue, and forces reflection. Let's dive deeper into why absence holds such undeniable power. At its core, absence disrupts familiarity. Humans are creatures of habit, and when someone is consistently present, they can unintentionally blend into the background of our lives. Their value, contributions, and essence may be overshadowed by the predictability of their presence. When that presence is withdrawn, even temporarily, it creates a void. That void doesn't just go unnoticed, it demands attention. Absence shakes up the routine and compels others to confront what they may have taken for granted. For example, consider a person who always shows up, who's always available, and who consistently goes out of their way to make others feel valued. While this is admirable, it can sometimes lead to an unintended effect. Their efforts may become expected rather than appreciated. When that person steps back, however, the absence of their energy becomes starkly apparent. Suddenly, their once overlooked contributions are missed. Their presence is longed for, and their value is more deeply understood. Absence also has the unique ability to foster desire. In the realm of relationships, there's an inherent allure to what is not immediately accessible. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions, it's about the psychology of human attraction. People are naturally drawn to what they perceive as valuable, and value is often associated with scarcity. When you step away, you create an environment where others have the space to miss you. In that space, they begin to reflect on what you bring to their lives, and their appreciation deepens. Moreover, absence creates a sense of mystery. When you're always present, always available, there's little left to wonder about. But when you withdraw even slightly, it sparks curiosity. What's changed? What are they thinking? Are they okay without me? These questions don't just linger, they create an emotional pull. And that pull isn't about making someone chase you. It's about giving them a chance to see you in a different light, to view you as someone who has their own boundaries, priorities, and independence. Another remarkable aspect of absence is its ability to foster self-awareness, not just in others, but in yourself. Stepping back allows you to evaluate your own needs, boundaries, and desires. It's a chance to recalibrate, to understand where your energy is going, and to decide whether the relationships in your life are reciprocal or one-sided. Sometimes, absence reveals truths you might have been too close to see. For instance, if you pull back and notice that certain people don't notice or care, you've learned something invaluable about where to invest your time and energy moving forward. There's a final definition here before we go on to explore and heal one another's internal wounds, and that is, absence also demands respect. When you're always available, it can inadvertently send the message that your time and attention are easily given. But when you step back, you demonstrate that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. This isn't about being arrogant or withholding affection. It's about teaching others to value what you bring to the table. Respect, after all, is rooted in the acknowledgement of boundaries. When you honor your own boundaries, others are more likely to do the same. In professional settings, the power of absence is equally significant. Consider a team leader or manager who's constantly involved in every minor detail of their team's work. While this might initially seem helpful, it can lead to dependency and hinder growth. When that leader steps back, it forces team members to take ownership, make decisions, and develop their skills. In this context, absence isn't about abandoning responsibility, it's about empowering others and fostering independence. Absence also challenges the fear of loss, a primal emotion deeply ingrained in human psychology. When someone we care about is absent, even temporarily, it can trigger a sense of longing that intensifies our appreciation for them. This longing isn't rooted in manipulation. It's a natural response to recognizing the value of something or someone we no longer have immediate access to. Perhaps one of the most profound aspects of absence is its ability to create balance. In any relationship, balance is key. If one person is constantly giving while the other is receiving, the dynamic becomes skewed. Absence serves as a reset button. It gives the other party an opportunity to step up, to meet you halfway, and to show their investment in the relationship. It's a reminder that love, respect, and effort should always flow both ways. Finally, absence allows for growth. When you're always present, there's little room for others to grow in their understanding of you, or for you to grow in your understanding of yourself. Absence gives you the space to evolve, to explore new dimensions of who you are, and to bring those discoveries back into your relationships. It's a reminder that being apart doesn't weaken bonds. It can strengthen them by fostering mutual appreciation and respect. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. It transcends appearances, bypasses superficialities, and speaks directly to the human instinct to admire strength and self-assurance. True confidence, however, is not loud or boastful. It doesn't need to announce itself. It exists quietly yet powerfully, radiating from within and drawing people in like a magnet. Individuality radiates from inside some people to some extent, and some people to a high degree. At its core, confidence begins with self-awareness. When you know who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and your worth, you create a foundation that is unshakable. This self-awareness doesn't mean you believe you're perfect. It means you embrace yourself fully, imperfections and all. People are drawn to this level of authenticity because it feels real in a world often dominated by pretenses. A confident person doesn't need to pretend or seek constant validation, and that self-assurance is magnetic. Confidence also has a way of transforming how you carry yourself. It's evident in your posture, the way you walk, and even the way you hold your gaze. A person who believes in themselves stands taller, moves with purpose, and engages with others in a way that conveys both warmth and authority. This physical manifestation of confidence is subtle but powerful, creating an aura that others find hard to ignore. Seriously, who is alive that people respect and admirates the most in the world? One of the most compelling aspects of confidence is its ability to make others feel at ease. When you're comfortable in your own skin, you create an environment where others feel comfortable too. Confidence doesn't seek to dominate or overshadow, it invites connection. It's the quiet assurance that says, I'm good as I am, and I see the good in you too. This balance of self-assurance and openness is incredibly attractive because it fosters genuine interactions. Confidence is also deeply tied to independence. A confident person doesn't rely on others to define their worth or happiness. They don't chase approval or validation because they've already given it to themselves. This independence is magnetic because it sets a standard. It communicates that you are a person of value, someone who knows what they bring to the table and isn't afraid to sit alone if necessary. This kind of self-sufficiency isn't just admirable, it's inspiring. In relationships, confidence creates a dynamic that is both exciting and reassuring. It eliminates the neediness that can sometimes overshadow genuine connection. A confident partner doesn't cling or demand constant reassurance. Instead, they offer support and stability while maintaining their own sense of self. This balance allows for healthier, more fulfilling relationships because it's built on mutual respect and admiration rather than dependency. Confidence also plays a crucial role in how you handle challenges and setbacks. Life is full of uncertainties, and how you navigate them says a lot about your character. A confident person doesn't crumble in the face of adversity. They see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. This resilience is incredibly attractive because it shows strength of character, and because it shows strength of character in the most distressing of circumstances. And resilience is also a strength of character. It communicates that you can weather storms without losing your sense of self. And that kind of stability is something others naturally gravitate toward. Another key aspect of confidence is the ability to set boundaries. A confident person understands that their time, energy, and attention are valuable, and they don't give them away carelessly. They're not afraid to say no, to walk away from situations that don't serve them, or to demand the respect they deserve. This assertiveness isn't about being harsh or unyielding. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you, and that clarity is both empowering and attractive. You commit to working hard to expand your circle and to advance your skills. Confidence is also contagious. When you exude self-assurance, you inspire those around you to believe in themselves as well. It's a ripple effect that lifts people up rather than tearing them down. This is why confident leaders, friends, and partners are so impactful. They empower others simply by being true to themselves. Number 51, toward your path. Selfishness is important, and perhaps the greatest weapon that exists. Moreover, confidence enhances how you communicate. A confident person speaks with clarity and conviction. They don't feel the need to dominate conversations or prove their point incessantly. Instead, they listen as much as they speak, valuing the perspectives of others while confidently sharing their own. This balance in communication creates a sense of respect and equality that draws people in and fosters meaningful connections. In professional settings, confidence can be a game changer. It's the quality that allows you to take risks, advocate for yourself, and seize opportunities. A confident person doesn't wait for permission or fear failure. They trust their abilities and take action. This proactive approach not only sets you apart, but also inspires trust and admiration from colleagues, superiors, and clients. So, finally, confidence has a way of amplifying everything else about you. Whether it's your sense of humor, your intelligence, or your kindness, confidence acts as a spotlight that highlights your best qualities. It's not about overshadowing others or being the center of attention. It's about owning who you are and letting that shine through in every interaction. The reflection effect is a fascinating psychological phenomenon that occurs when your actions, or lack thereof, force others to look inward and examine their own feelings, behaviors, and decisions. This effect is particularly powerful in relationships and social dynamics, where people often take things for granted until they are given the opportunity or are compelled to see them from a new perspective. It is in this space of reflection that true clarity and understanding can emerge, revealing truths that may have been overlooked or ignored. At its essence, the reflection effect is about creating a mirror. When you step back, withdraw, or change your behavior, it disrupts the status quo and causes others to reevaluate their own actions. This doesn't happen in the moments of constant interaction or routine, but in the silence and absence you leave behind. For example, if someone is used to receiving your undivided attention and you suddenly stop giving it, they are forced to question why. In this questioning, they are likely to confront deeper truths about themselves and the relationship. This effect is especially profound in romantic relationships. People often operate on autopilot, assuming that certain dynamics, habits, or interactions will remain constant. If one partner always reaches out first, makes plans, or prioritizes the other's needs, the other partner may unknowingly grow complacent. When the proactive partner steps back, it creates a void that the other person must either fill or confront. This absence acts as a mirror, forcing the individual to consider their own role in the relationship and whether they have been as engaged or invested as they should be. The reflection effect is not about manipulation or testing others. It's about giving people the opportunity to see what they might not notice in the constant flow of daily interactions. Humans are wired to appreciate things more deeply when they're absent. The old adage, "You don't know what you've got until it's gone," rings true here. When you remove yourself, even temporarily, from a dynamic, it prompts the other person to reflect on what you brought to their life. This can lead to a newfound appreciation that wasn't fully realized when your presence was constant and predictable. Interestingly, the reflection effect is not just limited to relationships. It can also occur in professional and social settings. For instance, in a workplace, an employee who consistently goes above and beyond might find their efforts underappreciated over time. If that employee takes a step back, perhaps by delegating tasks or taking a well-deserved break, their absence becomes a glaring reminder of how much they contributed. It becomes the strongest reminder of how much they contributed. Colleagues and superiors are forced to reflect on how the individual's efforts positively impacted the team or organization, often resulting in greater acknowledgement and appreciation. One of the reasons the reflection effect is so impactful is because it interrupts patterns of behavior and forces people to become more conscious of their actions. In many cases, people don't realize they're taking someone for granted until that person changes the dynamic. It's not always a matter of ill intent. Sometimes it's simply a lack of awareness. By stepping back, you create a moment of pause that invites introspection. Another key aspect of the reflection effect is how it challenges people to take ownership of their own emotions. When someone reflects on a situation or relationship, they're not just considering the other person, they're also examining their own feelings and responses. This can lead to powerful realizations about what they value, what they've been neglecting, or what they need to do differently moving forward. In this way, the reflection effect fosters growth and self-awareness, both for the person who steps back and for the person left to reflect. The timing and context of the reflection effect are also crucial. It tends to occur most effectively when there's been a history of effort, care, or consistency from the individual who steps back. If someone who has been distant or disengaged all along withdraws further, it's unlikely to spark much reflection. But when someone who has consistently shown up, contributed, or cared takes a step back, the contrast is stark and undeniable. The contraction rearranges the contraption of the contraption. Simply put, this contrast is what prompts others to look inward and evaluate the dynamic. They seek reparation in their own life and community, and they avoid repair. The reflection effect also operates on a deeper psychological level. It taps into the human tendency to assign value based on perception. When something is readily available, it can be easy to overlook its worth. But when it's absent, its value becomes magnified. This isn't about scarcity in a manipulative sense. It's about creating the space for genuine recognition. Absence removes the distractions and noise of constant availability, allowing others to focus on what truly matters. In relationships, the reflection effect can lead to profound shifts in dynamics. When one person steps back, it not only allows the other person to reflect, but also shifts the balance of effort and attention. This shift can reveal whether the relationship is truly reciprocal or if adjustments need to be made. It's a moment of truth that can either strengthen the connection or highlight areas that require change. Ultimately, the reflection effect is a powerful reminder that sometimes doing less can achieve more. By creating space for reflection, you allow others to see things from a different perspective and gain a deeper appreciation for what you bring to the table. Whether in personal relationships, friendships, or professional environments, This effect underscores the importance of balance, boundaries, and self-awareness. The shift in dynamics is one of the most profound changes that occurs when you alter your approach, behavior, or presence in a relationship or interaction. Relationships, whether personal or professional, often settle into patterns. Over time, these patterns become the foundation for how individuals engage with one another. But when one person changes their behavior, be it stepping back, setting boundaries, or simply redirecting their focus, it disrupts the established flow. This disruption forces a recalibration of roles, expectations, and even perceptions, leading to a new dynamic that can reveal hidden truths and redefine connections. At the heart of a shift in dynamics lies the balance of effort and attention. In many relationships, there's often an unspoken understanding about who initiates, who leads, or who contributes more. These roles are sometimes assumed unconsciously, shaped by personalities, past behaviors, or even cultural norms. For example, in a friendship, one person might always be the one to plan outings, check in, or offer support. Over time, the other person may begin to rely on this, consciously or not, and the relationship becomes imbalanced. The moment the proactive individual steps back even slightly, it creates a ripple effect. The other person is suddenly confronted with a new reality, one in which they either step up or allow the relationship to falter. This shift isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about creating a space for balance. When dynamics change, they compel both parties to reconsider their roles and contributions. If someone has grown accustomed to receiving more than they give, the shift serves as a wake-up call, urging them to take a more active role. Conversely, for the person who has always given more, it's an opportunity to reclaim their time and energy, setting a precedent that relationships should be mutual investments. One of the most noticeable impacts of a shift in dynamics is the way it changes perceptions. When you consistently show up for others, your efforts can sometimes blend into the background, becoming an unacknowledged part of their everyday experience. By stepping back, you highlight the absence of those efforts, prompting others to reflect on their value. This reflection can lead to a deeper appreciation for what you bring to the relationship, as well as a realization of how their own behavior may have contributed to an imbalance. The shift in dynamics is also a powerful tool for revealing true intentions. In some cases, when you change your behavior, the other person's reaction can tell you everything you need to know about their investment in the relationship. For instance, if you stop initiating contact and the other person doesn't reach out, it might indicate that their commitment wasn't as strong as you believed. On the other hand, if they step up and make an effort to bridge the gap, it's a sign that they value the relationship and are willing to adjust to maintain it. This concept extends beyond personal relationships and into professional or social settings. In a workplace, for example, a team member who consistently takes on extra responsibilities might find themselves overburdened while others coast by. By redistributing tasks or simply stepping back from always saying yes, the dynamics of the team shift. It forces others to either rise to the occasion or reveal their reliance on someone else's effort. This change can lead to a more equitable distribution of work and a greater sense of accountability among all team members. This shift in dynamics also emphasizes the importance of boundaries. When one person consistently overextends themselves, it sets a precedent that can be difficult to undo. By changing the dynamic, you're not just resetting expectations for others, you're resetting them for yourself. This act of setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential. It communicates that your time, energy, and contributions are valuable and they should be met with reciprocal respect and effort. Another significant aspect of a shift in dynamics is the emotional response it elicits. Change is uncomfortable, and when people are confronted with a new dynamic, their initial reaction is often one of resistance. They may feel unsettled, confused, or even frustrated as they try to make sense of the shift. However, this discomfort is often a necessary step toward growth. If they lose rational control, they should expect to suffer discrepancy. If it challenges individuals to step outside their comfort zones, confront their assumptions, and adapt to a new way of interacting. Interestingly, a shift in dynamics often leads to stronger connections in the long run. While the initial disruption may feel unsettling, it opens the door for more authentic, balanced, and fulfilling relationships. When both parties are actively engaged in maintaining a connection rather than relying on one person to carry the weight, the relationship becomes more resilient. It fosters mutual respect, understanding, and a shared sense of responsibility. The timing and manner of a shift in dynamics also play a crucial role in its impact. Abrupt or dramatic changes can sometimes be misinterpreted, leading to confusion or conflict. However, a thoughtful, intentional shift, one that is rooted in self-respect and a desire for balance, has the potential to create meaningful change. It's not about cutting people off or creating distance for the sake of it. It's about recalibrating relationships to reflect mutual effort and respect. Finally, a shift in dynamics reveals the value of adaptability. Relationships, like people, are not static. They evolve over time, shaped by changing circumstances, needs, and priorities. When dynamics shift, they remind us that growth often comes from discomfort, and that balance is an ongoing process, not a fixed state. It's through these shifts that we learn more about ourselves and the people around us, paving the way for deeper understanding and connection.